look at where we started from Wizcraft, and we, actually started from a garage to then slowly grow the business. We used to do a lot of parties from A to Z in entertainment. You have three guys here who probably don't have X amount of money to bring Michael Jackson, but they're thinking of bringing him in. So Viraf and me trained him for about 15 minutes. मैं हिंदुस्तान आ रहा हूँ.
Oh God.
So we made him train him, and he did the video.
मैं हिंदुस्तान आ रहा हूँ.
Next thing I knew, Anupam Kher jumped the security caught him, he jumped, he said, hey, mera chance hai, Michael Jackson. Prabhu Deva waited for 72 hours in the lobby to meet him.
How I got hooked onto IIFA was when I was watching the show. On one of the shows, one of the gentlemen who I really adore and love was Mr. late Feroz Khan. Mr. Feroz Khan was in a happy zone. He was in his happy mood.
He's my mentor.
दुबई में मच मचा रहा है धूम, दिल से पूछ रहा है सवाल, सबसे झूम बराबर झूम. ये मस्ती का खुलेगा यहाँ पिटारा, जो भी आएगा यहाँ सितारा, जश्न का बजेगा यहाँ नगाड़ा. टाइम आउट विद अंकित. टिप टैप टप 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 टप, कॉफी का कप और गपशप लाइट चली, एक्शन हुआ, फिर मस्ती का उड़ा धुआं. कोई केंचो, कोई वनक्कम, कोई मरहबा बल्ले. अरे आई सेट पर जब हबीबी, दिल सभी के जल्ले. मस्ती का खुलेगा यहाँ पिटारा, जो भी आएगा यहाँ सितारा, जश्न का बजेगा यहाँ नगाड़ा. टाइम आउट विद अंकित. दिल्ली का लौंडा दुबई में मच मचा रहा है धूम, दिल से पूछ रहा है सवाल, सबसे झूम बराबर झूम. ये
चले शो भी शूट करना है यार. I'm gonna have fun. So as soon as Andrea sat down, I said I don't do questions. That is the first time, and he gave me a heads up. Like, what a lovely way to start this off. I am very excited. Welcome. Thank you for making time for Time Out. How have you been?
Well, I have to say one thing. I'm absolutely, the time has come where we couldn't feel more better, in what we do.
Yeah.
Right. And, even though being in the business for 4 decades, we feel we are still learning, still running, still making things happen. Right. Want to see smiles on people's faces. Our business is all about that. It's all about fun, but it's also about work. So can you imagine combining fun and work together? You can't ask for anything better than that in life, right?
That's the thing. The thing is, your line of work is so much fun. I mean, it's just the whole thing from getting everything together to seeing that final artwork and being like, wow, there are like 20,000 sitting in front of you enjoying a show that you have put in the work to create. It must be like a surreal feeling.
Yeah, I think like I said, you have to be passionate. You have to be, you got to be passionate to what you do. And in our business, like for 4 decades, the three of us, right, that built this business, Virav, Sabas and me, there's no retakes in our business, right? It's just that one take, right? And you got to get it right. And I think that's what is built that excitement of every event. You want to do something different. Every event, you want to make sure you excel from what you did last, right? And even your clients look at you in that aspect. Hey, what did you do last? You know what I mean? So from that aspect, we're extremely thrilled that, we are in the business. And now with us, there's so many other people in the business, right? If I go back and talk about when of my days when I got into the business, and I was a DJ, right? 17 years old playing music, right? And out of school, And so music took me. We had a band. The family had a band, and I was never to play any instruments. So I got into DJing. From DJing, got into owning a club. We were the youngest guys at 19 to own a club in Mumbai, right? And that's where when we decided to do Wizcraft together. The birth of Wizcraft was from a nightclub, because I keep telling everybody today life is all about meeting people.
Right.
And I think my journey from 83 to 80 to 92, where we had clubs and we were running them in Mumbai, that's where I made all my relationships. That's where I made all my contacts. You know what I mean? And it just, it was just flowing, because it converted, and we opened Wizcraft in 88, right? So it's like meeting somebody at a party, at a club. He's running a business. Then you do his birthday party, right? Because we started with birthday parties, right?
Right.
Okay. And from birthday parties, the same guys run big businesses. So they would say, listen, can you come and do something for our company, right?
Yeah.
And it was bizarre, because that's where we just kept investing in people, investing in doing things, investing in our clients, right? Because, ultimately for all of us, clients is king.
Of course, I heard this. Pretty much everyone would have heard this. Your net worth is your network, right? I mean, it is in a lot of sense true if you think about it. The more people you meet, that's how you open more doors, and the right people, especially, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what I thrive on. Like, for example, we were having dinner in Abu Dhabi with the Film Commission, and we were, Hans asked me,
Hands, of course.
how many numbers do you have on your phone? So he said, I think I have more than you. So I said, I'm sure. I've never checked in my life ever. Right.
Right.
Okay. And so he said, I have about 9,000 phone numbers on my. I said, I don't know how to even look at it. So he took my phone,
Right.
and he opened it, and he for a second he was quiet. He said, I can't believe it. You have 26,000 names on your
Wow.
phone.
Wow.
So he said, this is insane, right?
Yeah.
So I think, right, for us, we've grown up learning business, because we don't come from business families, but through our career of a life, we've learned that people are very important, right? And it's a very simple saying: when you give, don't expect, because it comes.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So in life, that's what we keep doing. So life is interesting. Our business is exciting. We're growing the business across the board. So
Life's good.
life's good. No complaints.
Tell me something, like co-founder Wizcraft, right? Creator of IIFA. Why do we not see? There is very little information available on you online. Why do we not see more of you? I mean, you should be. I don't know, for some reason, this is one of the things I wanted to know. Why don't we see a lot more of you? Like, I have not seen any long interviews of you. I've not seen any. I think this is the first podcast.
Yeah,
First
first.
ones that you're doing.
Yeah.
Why do we not see more of you?
Well, I think one is that, I'm a little shy guy, right? I like to do the work, which is behind the scenes, right? Make things happen, right? I put that out first, right? But when time needs it, we're always there, right, to go out and speak. Yeah. But you're right. This is a very rare thing that I'm sitting with you, Ankit, and we're chatting, and I'm extremely happy about it, to tell stories about not only our life, tell stories about the business, right? Because there's so many youngsters out there today, the Gen Z, right, who are looking at our business in a slight different way in how they want to see it, right? But we, end of the day, it's all about when you do it, you experience it, right? No books can teach you that.
100%.
So I think from that perspective, I decided let's go out and do something with Ankit, and come and speak, and tell our, I would say, all the people in this business, in the events business, the experience that we have of 4 decades, right? Wizcraft story is, the event story is all about Wizcraft, right? We built the industry. Way back in 88, we had a lot of tough time getting people, right? Because nobody wanted their people to work in atmosphere like us, right?
Hmm.
Because that time it was more about IIT and, it was the different doctors and,
More secure jobs.
more
other-
secure jobs that
yeah.
working at 2 a.m. and going for a party, you know what I mean? The parent would say, what are you trying to do, right? But as we grew into it, and we are extremely happy today that today it's become an industry. Today, people look at it as a career. Top industrialists look at this as a business,
Hmm.
So in about 40 years, we've seen the growth tremendous, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You've gone through the grind and you've built in a way, an empire that you have.
Yeah.
So, again, but I think we should see a bit more of you. This is the right
Yeah.
thing now.
You keep me on my toes whenever you need me to come, and anything I can do.
Perfect. I'll do that definitely.
Sure.
Let him talk to me about the grind a bit more and the spectacles. I mean, because one of the things that you actually did was the Commonwealth concert as well with MJ, Michael Jackson.
Yeah. So just to kind of look at where we started from Wizcraft, and we actually started from a garage to then slowly grow the business, and we used to do a lot of parties from A to Z in entertainment, right? Okay, and then from there we started doing corporate events in around 1991, and at that time concerts were coming in and out, very few of them. And then we decided that, listen, why don't we go out and see whether we can bring in large concerts, build the business here? Because if you don't build the business, people won't understand what we want. What are we doing, first of all, right? You know what I mean? It's like me coming to your house and doing your party. Why can't we not do it? You know what I mean? Why do we need external help, right? And so actually from 91, 92, the trends changed. So at that time, there were huge weddings happening in Mumbai. All the diamond guys, weddings. And so that started the moment of large events. But it was more private. Stadiums were taken over. And you talk today about weddings, 25, 30,000. We've already done that. From 91 to 98, right? There were weddings which even till today people will not see. 30,000 people, food, 4 days of events, and at that time I used to work with a lot of top guys there, Nitin Desai, Bijon Dasgupta, all these guys, right? They were legends in their field,
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and they would turn around overnight because, night is the function, daytime is something else, So we saw a huge surge because all these guys from the diamond field, their kids were traveling abroad, studying abroad. So they wanted to bring back what they saw internationally, whether it was a Wild West theme, whether it was a casino theme, or whether it was this theme, they wanted to do something which is different, right? And so we started doing those large events that time. And that's where we found there's a huge opportunity at that time that we should build entertainment, right? So we were the first to bring in lasers. We were the first to bring in 3D projectors, right? At that time, we were the first to bring in LED screens, right? So at that time in the 90s, because the West had it, so we were trying to bring it in here because all these guys wanted something that's different. And a lot of the people who were getting married, almost, I would say 40% of the people were from overseas, from Belgium and, all the diamond markets and all that, right? And that's where we saw this whole shift. And that's when we stepped into
the bigger
scheme of things. And, we stepped on to Michael Jackson, right? Okay. You couldn't get bigger than that, right?
No one can. My God.
Yeah, it was an experience. And I think Michael Jackson for me, and I would say it's more of an educational inspiration, education process, right? Because, you have three guys here, who probably don't have X amount of money to bring Michael Jackson, but they're thinking of bringing him in,
Right.
And it just came as a coincidence. He was doing his tour. He wanted to come to India, right? Okay. And for him, it was more to come here and do, one is to go meet Mother Teresa, go to the Taj Mahal, okay? He wanted to shoot 2-3 videos in India. So he said, I'm flying into Malaysia, Singapore, and I'll do a stopover, and I'll come and perform in India. And he always wanted to come, right? And I'll tell you when I met him what all he spoke. But when we got that fax and when we got the details in that Michael Jackson's keen to come, we thought, somebody's pulling a
Not
fast one.
happening.
Not happening. Fast one on us, right? Okay. And then we said, listen, if this is true, right, we can put a document together, right? So what we did, we put a document together. We spoke to certain local authorities that time. Like when we take IIFA abroad, we only work with the government. Now, Michael Jackson coming to India, to Mumbai, right, an icon, a legend, we had to make sure that wanted to make sure security is perfect, you know what I mean, and everything. So we went and met the government and, I have to say when we met Bala Saab, he was extremely, welcoming, right? He said, is not only an artist, but he also is an artist, right? Like me, painting and all, right? So he's saying it's a great thing, and we will welcome him and everything, right? So that actually got us going. And then, of course, Raj Thackeray was given the assignment at that time to make sure that everything is looked after from the government perspective. And then he formulated a team because at that time, nobody knew a concert of that stature
Can even happen.
can happen, and how they look at it, because the way the foreigners look at it, the way we look at it was different. The way the police look at it is very different, right? So, take two, we say, listen, if this is true, we want to meet him. We want to meet him, we want to ask him, right? Because several shows are being cancelled. So, if that happens, it'll be great. So then we get an appointment in Los Angeles, right? And sitting back today, I'm laughing and saying this to you. We didn't have money to even go there.
Stop now. Really?
Didn't have money. Going to America. So my brother's to work for an airline and Viraf's wife was working for Air India. So guess what? We got 2 free tickets. Okay. And, we were going into New York, because the Air India flight is to go to New York, and then we stayed one night there, right? We literally went there with 2,500 rupees, dollars, right? Okay. And we went to New York, stayed there. From New York, we went to Los Angeles. We stayed in a friend's house. Used to handle Mr. Bachchan's work that time. And he said, no problem, you can stay in my house. So we stayed in the house, right? Because like I said, we didn't have any money. We didn't have money, we go to book Michael Jackson. Crazy, right? Okay, 2 crazy guys going there. So anyway, we went there, we took him some gifts and everything. And we went, before we had to meet him, we had to meet the lawyers, right? Now these guys, so Viraf, me, another friend of ours from London, Colin, and we went to this huge building, Michael Jackson lawyer, and we started then working out our paperwork, to how to bring him back. And because the fact that he was coming gratis, right, and the equipments had to come in and everything, how it will be done, and his security, which hotel he'll stay in and everything. So we went through all the contracts. As you know, as Indians, we always like, dil mange mo.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? We don't ask for less, right?
Yeah.
So the lawyer was going nuts, right? He's saying, Michael will come in, he'll not do anything. He'll come in, he'll meet few people, he'll jump onto the stage, take his slide back. I said, but he's going to shoot a video. He wants to go to Mother Teresa. Saying all that is fine, but he's not going to meet anybody, right? What you're asking is what to happen. So I said, but this has to happen. This is India. We are a very poor country, right? But we have people, right? And if he's doing this for us, it'll be great, he'll open up the market.
Yeah.
They just didn't listen. So while we were sitting with the guys, the lawyers, they were going nuts with us. And they must have signed almost 10 other contracts, because while we were sitting and talking, in the next room, Bangkok came, Singapore came, Japan came, Germany came, right?
Right.
So the guy comes, listen, we've just signed 5 contracts in 10 minutes, right? You came here at 9:30. It's
Right.
5 o'clock in the evening. So are we going to come to some conclusion? So we said that, listen, we can come to a conclusion because we know what we want. If you want to come to India, you'll have the biggest concert of your lifetime, right? Okay. And it'll be the biggest thing for you, right? And you have to listen to us. We need to do this, press conference, party, meet and greet, and these things are important, right? And there's a lot of business opportunity here. So the guy said, no, sorry, we can't do all this. So ultimately, we said, if this can't happen, then we can't do the show.
Oh, nice. You guys said that, huh?
But Ankit, what do? We had a mandate because ultimately we know the land where we belong and how it operates, right? So it may operate in other regions like that because they are not used to it. But for us, we wanted a lot of things. We wanted to shoot the first 5-7 songs, wanted to make a documentary, we wanted to meet people, we wanted to meet the chief minister. So they just couldn't understand because he's Michael Jackson.
Of course.
Right? So anyway, they said, then fine, then, if you're not agreeing to it, then we'll have to move on. So we said, fine. We got up at around about 9:30 in the night, 12 hours, and we left. So when we left, naturally we came down and everybody was fighting on, why did you say this? Why did you say that? Right? You know what I mean? He's Michael Jackson, right? But in heart and heart, we felt that if we have to do something which is extraordinary, right, in India, we definitely need him to be a little more flexible. I know he was coming gratis. It's only about his production and everything. But end of the day, I have to go back and make things work, right? Because we are opening the doors for him, right?
And it's your presentation, rightfully so.
Yeah. And even till then, guys, we didn't have money. We know where the money is going to come to bring his production in. You got my point. And we called up Marcel, who was the guy who was his agent, right? Marcel's still alive.
I think still, yeah.
Still alive. He's about 80 plus now. He's doing a lot of concerts with Jennifer Lopez and all that. Great guy. And we told him, listen to me. And he was living in Beverly Hills. And we were living in somebody's house, right? You can imagine. Huh? So it's like, where are you staying? I'm staying in my friend's house, right? So we told him, listen, it can't happen because, unfortunately, these guys are not understanding what we want and we're not asking for more, but this is the way the system works there, right? And so he said, okay, fine. He said, I'll talk to Michael and, we'll try to come to some understanding. And we had dinner, went to the room, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1:30. Everybody's saying, listen, guys, it's going to be the saddest moment. We'll have to go back now, right? Because they're not going to agree to what we want. And we had asked for quite a lot of things, right? So around about 3:30, we got a call from Marcel. He said, tomorrow morning, go there at 9:30. They'll sign exactly what you want to do. Okay. Michael said yes.
Wow.
Okay. And then it was history, right? You know what I mean? We went to the lawyers. The lawyer was very upset.
Yeah, of course.
Very upset. So we went there, signed, and the next thing they got us an appointment with Michael Jackson. He was rehearsing in a small airport in a hangar, right? And we were supposed to meet him at 4 o'clock. So we had to then rush back, wear our Indian clothes. If you Google it, you'll see, I'll show you later, me and Viraf. We had to wear Indian clothes. We got a Ganesha and Krishna, right? And we reached 1 hour late for Michael Jackson. It's crazy, right? And
oh my!
When we landed there, we were sitting. So he had several rooms, right? So we put in one room, and we already decided what we want from him, right? Okay, because the fact that so many shows were cancelled, the idea was that we have to have something to take back for people to trust that he's going to come.
Yeah, like a concrete thing. It's a done deal. Yeah.
So now the agreement is done. Now we're with him. And so after about 45 minutes, the man, they take us to another room, larger room slightly. And next thing, the man walks in, right? And
my
he
goodness.
my hair standing right now, and walks in there and says, "Hi, so nice to see you all." And he sat down there. And the first thing me and Viraf are looking at, I'm looking at his nose, I'm looking at his eyes.
Yeah.
And is he the real Michael Jackson?
Oh my
Because
God.
actually, about a year before that, we had done a lookalike Michael Jackson concert in India in 6 cities.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
From America, right? So now we're sitting the real Michael Jackson, right? And we're looking at him and we're talking. So we got into conversation, right? He's saying, you're from India, which part of India? And he says, I just love India. I want to come to India. I want to go to Taj Mahal. I want to go and meet Mother Teresa. And, the country is so vast with so many languages. And, I have a lot of history with India. And even if you come to my house, I have a lot of instruments and lots of Ganeshas and all that. And we had bought him a Ganesha.
Yeah.
We not open it up. And he said, we got Ganeshas and she's the Lakshmi of God. And, so he knew a lot of, Michael had spoken about a lot of things, and he was very intelligent. And he knew a lot about India and what he wanted to do. And he says, I want to do a video with legend dancers and Bhangra dancers. And, so there are a lot of things that he wanted to do. He's saying, I've always wanted to come to India because, you all have, you're so spiritual, right? You'll do yoga. So he was, he was very much there. And then we told him that, listen, we got you this, Krishna and Ganpati, and he was so excited when he saw that Krishna. And then he says, oh, why are they standing on the kids, So first thing, I got scared, right? Then Viraf said, no, the demons are going out, and that's what they do out to, for the children and all.
Yeah.
So then he felt, okay. Then he spoke about Krishna again. and then we said, before we leave, we need to get a video from you.
Like a bite.
Like a small bite that are coming. And we wanted to speak in Hindi. And so Viraf and me trained him for about 15 minutes. Actually, you should play it. You find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Main Hindustan aa raha hoon.
Oh God. Okay.
So we made him train him. And he did the video like this, you know what I mean? He's very fast, right?
He was okay to
Yeah, he was okay. He said, no problem. I said, see, because if you don't do this video, the country is not going to, believe that you're actually coming.
Yeah.
And first of all, they'll not believe that I've met you. Right? Okay. So, of course, we took our photographs. He had his own photographer, took photographs. Then he did the video. We were with him for almost close to about 90 minutes. He spent a lot of time with us. And he said, when I come there, I want to, engage with a lot of people from the streets. I want to, meet people that mean something to us and to India and to the world, right? And he was extremely intelligent, right? You know what I mean? So we got our bite, we got everything, and we came out like,
my God.
we were so excited.
What? I mean, this is just. I mean, just to hear just the thought behind it, right? Like the person who, a team doesn't have the money to finally pay off Michael Jackson, yet they have walked out getting a bite from him. How was the feeling seeing him, interacting with him? As in, like, did you feel surreal? Ke kya ho raha hai? What am I doing here?
Like,
and how is this happening?
And it's such a, Ankit, we are talking about this in the month of September 2025. We did this in 96. Next April, his nephew, Jermaine's son, is acting in the documentary. 26 April is movies coming out. His nephew, Jermaine's son, is acting in it, right? Okay. And we're looking at working with them to take it around the world, right? Janet Jackson's on tour, right? So it's like the Jacksons are back, right? You know what I mean? So doing something like this around Michael Jackson, because, after he passed away, in his era, there was no social media, right?
Yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean? And you saw the people around him even today. And we look at what's happening with Michael Jackson today. There's more publicity of him than what was there when he was alive, you know? So when we look at it from that perspective, we're very excited to talk about it because not many people can tell stories,
Yeah,
stories.
yeah.
I think Ankit, stories for youngsters to understand and dream. See, the Gen Z, the people today have to dream. The power of dreams is very important. What you manifest will happen. You know what I mean? We manifest it, right? Okay. And now here we are with Michael Jackson. We are with the tape. We called up Bala Saab and everybody and said, "Sir, video leke aaye humne." Video. because
That's your as well.
because they were saying, तुम बोलता है लेके आएगा और कोई नहीं आएगा तो कैसा चलेगा, right?
Yeah.
So we said, video लेके आए भाई sir.
Oh God.
So Balasa was very excited because for him, Michael Jackson was not only a performing artist, but for them, he was an artist. You know what I mean? More than just coming and singing.
Right.
You got my point. So we're on the flight back home. I told you, on Air India courtesy, right? Free tickets, right? We're coming back home, right? And we land in Mumbai, do a meeting with the team, with all of them, right? And then we start the whole, now it's for real, right?
What do we do now?
So then how do we get this money for his production and everything? Then ultimately we went to Bharat Bhai, diamond merchant, Bharat Shah from
Okay.
from
Okay.
India.
Yeah.
He was in movies and extremely, even till today, extremely quite spoken. He loved doing things for people and he loved doing things for India. So we went to him and said, listen, why don't you do this? It'll be great for your brand and everything. And, if you make money, you can take everything back. This is more to bring India on the map in the world. And he said, no problem, let's do it, Andre. Right? So the moment he came in, everything, because we were only paying for his production. There was no fee to him, right?
Right.
It's his production work, right? And that was the day everything got sealed, right? We got the venues. Then there were a lot of issues, because the police,
Of course, that.
police wanted to create a thing like a political rally.
Acha, okay.
Yeah. And I remember Munde was a home minister. And we kept telling the police, listen, this is not a rally. This is a concert. Then ultimately, Raj called Munde. We sat in a room. बोला, sir, ऐसा होता है concert. इसमें कोई barricade नहीं होता है. Public होता है. Then he saw, ऐसा होता है. अच्छा. Then he called up the Mr. Tyagi, that time commissioner, and said, नहीं, ऐसा करना पड़ेगा. Because the Michael Jackson team was down. And they were saying, if we don't get this, we can't do it. You know what I mean? So everything was moving in the right direction. We had 11 court cases on us, right? Okay. Across the country, right? Michael Jackson coming in, evading tax, bringing some merchandising issues, and you name it. It was like, I can't tell you. It was so tough, I can't tell you. And on the other side, I think of my career, I must have spoken to all the state CMs because everybody wanted tickets. It doesn't stop now also. You know what I mean?
It'll never stop. That's something that will never stop with you. I don't think that's stopping.
Ankit, you won't believe it. Everybody got my number. They called me. At that time, phones had just come out, right? So I said, listen, if you want tickets, now actually they're all chief ministers, everybody, right? I said, you need to sign it. Whoever's taking it needs to sign because actually I can't give out. We ultimately gave some 11,000 complimentaries, right? And we said, how do we account? Make sure you've got to account for it, So that was another nightmare of dealing with bureaucracy. And I have to say, I have to say at that time, the government did a fabulous job. One thing with India, if they want to do something, right? And we'll come back to Commonwealth Games. If they want to do something, they can do it right.
They'll make it happen.
They'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, right? So anyway, now Michael Jackson date set, everything is set. We all, on board, back and forth with a lot of issues, airports shut down. How will we do it? He's coming on his private jet. And there was crazy amount of rumors. Oh, he's carrying so much money with him. We have to go and this. And they'll seal his passport. And, you name everything under the sun was happening. And we're still fighting cases, 11 court cases.
Oh God, is it?
So ultimately, the man landed at the Mumbai airport, and we organized this whole legend thing about Sonali Bendre because we wanted somebody from Maharashtra, right, come in that outfit and all that. And I remember that I was on the plane, and we had to take an immigration guy and two custom guys. They're my friends. So I told the guys there, listen, I still remember Atul was there, was the customer. I said, listen, no photographs. Right? You can go onto the plane, stamp their passports and everything. By that time, Ankit,
We are friends.
okay, this is around about 11:30. By that time, I can't even tell you, my hair standing. The entire airport was shut. Okay? And there were people standing on top of people. So there was a guy standing here on top of him. There were people standing on top of people. Because we made a pathway for him to walk, right? Everything was shut. And I tell these guys this when you go in. Moment we go in, straight away these guys, sir, we want a photograph. Now, because Michael couldn't say anything, they were the immigration and customs and everybody there, so they got their photographs and everything, They signed everything off and all that. And then we came out. When we came out, it was hysteria in the customs. It was, I think, from the entire airport, everybody was inside, right?
Yeah.
So pushing and this and that.
Must be a frenzy, I'm sure.
If you check out the videos, when I'm talking, you can insert them. But if you see them, it was crazy. Then getting outside the airport, where we were going to introduce to Bharat Bhai and Raj Thakre and Sonali and everybody, and we had almost 1,000 legend dancers at the airport. We had taken over the airport. And so he came out, he met everybody, and we explained to him who's who and all that. And he has his own filming crew.
Yeah.
A lot of people were there. Then, after that, these guys start doing dancing. He dances with them. He goes into the entire legend people there. And people were mesmerized.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody was like thinking, hey, hai na, sachi hai na, hey, Michael Jackson hai. You know what I mean? It was like crazy.
Yeah.
So then we had a whole parade, some 40 cars, with police and blah, blah, blah. And then Michael Jackson is in the car. And at that time, he wanted a preview car, which had opened on the top open.
Okay.
And that only one car was with Anil Ambani.
Okay.
So we had to request Anil Ambani, "Are gaadi to de do, Michael Jackson." So very sweetly he gave it.
Yeah.
He was using it. And he stood up waving and everything. And as we left the airport, Sar airport, not even 2-3 minutes, all the other cars went ahead. He stopped his car, Michael Jackson. Stopped the car and got off the car and walked right into the hutments. The security went berserk. The other guys had gone ahead. They all had to stop. He went into the hutments. He spent 15 minutes with all the poor people. He sat in a hut with all the poor people. Then he bought some toys. He gave them some toys, some chocolates and everything. Right? Okay. And he came out. He was almost crying. He's saying, we got to do something for these people. I said, this is what we're doing. Doing your show to, do something for these poor people. He said, yes, it's extremely sad, but I would love to meet these kind of people too. I want to give them something back, right? You know what I mean? And then a couple of little urchins, little 16, 17, they wanted to come for the show. Please give them tickets. I said, don't worry, we'll do that. By that time, they were all going crazy. Why is he stopping? I said, how can I tell him anything, right? Sat in the car. Now we are supposed to go to the Oberoi's, where he was staying there, right? Suddenly, Bal Thakre decides, no, don't take him to the Oberoi's. Bring him to my house first.
Oh my God. Is there footage of all of this anywhere?
Yes, it's online.
I will find this today itself.
Yeah, you'll go mad. You'll find tons, right?
My God, then what happened?
So we are now going into because security, the whole thing is handled by them. The whole entourage, and now they don't know where they're going. They're gone into Bal Thackeray's house. Now, can you imagine? I had already told them that if we bring him there, we don't want too many people in the room. We only want Bal Thackeray and his children and everything. And that time, brother and all were very young, you know. So now, can you imagine? Michael Jackson is sitting like there across the table with his glasses, those dark glasses, and Bal Thackeray with his cigar is sitting with his glasses, which has dark glasses.
Of course.
Now, Bala Saab is talking in Marathi, Michael Jackson is talking in English. Okay. So now, how do we, so I'm saying, he's saying this, he's saying that, and they spoke about, bringing Walt Disney to India. They spoke about artistic. So Bal Thackeray had done a drawing, an artistic drawing of Michael Jackson.
Is it?
Yeah, which he presented to Michael.
Wow.
And then told Michael, listen, you want 300 acres, 400 acres, I'll give you what land you want to build Walt Disney in Mumbai. We should do something like this. And, you know, we are very interested in all that. And then told him, you have to come to my house before you leave. I want to give you some good Indian and South Indian food. So Michael said, no, Michael knew that this guy is the most powerful person there. He said, yes, no problem. And then he said, can I use your restroom? So then he went to his restroom. Next day at midday, that became the highlight. Michael Jackson uses Bal Thackeray's toilet. full big thing. Anyway, there was, you name from Bapileri, everybody was there, right? They were so excited. We spent about half an hour there and they corresponded. They took photographs and they met the family. He met everybody and he said, I'm going to come back. I'm going to, before I leave. Then we went to Oberoi's. From there, went to Oberoi's and went to Suite.
Yeah.
And
then
there was, you know, of course, the guys from Michael Jackson's team, they were very clear in terms of protocol. If anything comes, any security issues, because Michael Jackson had a lot of threats that time, right?
Okay.
So any issues, you know, bring it to us, right? Now, you know, of course, we told the hotel, anything comes, bring it to us, we'll take it to the security and then Michael. But what happened, the hotel guys got close and suddenly we get a call at 4:45 in the morning. The security guy, please come here. So somebody from LTT had sent a note saying, we know you're staying in this room, in this room, and we know you're going out at this time for your concert and this and that. So naturally at that time, everybody got now.
Of course, yeah.
We had told the hotel to give it to us. They gave it directly to them. So that got into a panic mode, which then our Maharashtra government did a great job. They got everything sorted out. Everything was there. But, you know, people, when they're traveling with... So let me tell you, he flew in with 350 people working on the show. So the guy was doing nuts and bolts. He would only do that, right?
Yeah.
And can you imagine the first international event in India, humongous planes, for the first time landing in Mumbai airport, you know, this Antonovs, right? And of course, all Michael Jackson's stuff was in it and all that. And we had 350 people, 45 containers came in, right? Okay. And 350 people working on it. And I have to say, they came in, within 48 hours, everything was up. And within 6 to 12 hours, everything was gone. You know, that position of doing work.
Right.
And we actually learned a lot, you know what I mean, from how the production was done, you know, how mojos came in being from there, right? For crowd control. How do you do crowd control? How do you manage it? You need water pipes to cool them down. Because people who come to Michael Jackson concert, people were lining up from 7 a.m. in the morning. Right? The heat, food, you know. So there's a lot of science beside you know, behind these big concerts, right? So anyway, Michael Jackson's town, his equipment is in, everything is there. And then now we are going to the hotel, right? So go to the hotel. First night was where we had to bring him and introduce him to the press and the dignitaries and everywhere. And I still remember, and if you know, if you look up on the on Google, we'll see that Ubaili was speaking, and we only had certain people who could come up. And then next thing I knew, Anupam Kher jumped the security caught him, he jumped, he said, hey, mera chance hai, Michael Jackson. And he jumped on the no, then I had to say, oh, hey, hold on. He stood there and he said, you have to you have to do a snap with me. I'm an actor, So Michael, yes, no problem. Until today, Anupam still talks about his photograph with Michael Jackson, how he great crash, into that area, right? So we did this party, and Michael came to it. Michael met a lot of people. For example, he met with Lata Didi, Asha, Anil, a lot of people. Prabhu Deva waited for 72 hours in the lobby to meet him. He didn't leave the lobby.
My God.
72 hours he waited there. And then ultimately we got him to meet Michael, and it was his dream moment of meeting people. And Michael did a lot of work while he was there. And ultimately we came to show day, right? And
then there was it.
kind of went on stage, and people were waiting from 7-8 in the morning, and you name everybody under the sun was there, all the stars, everybody. But I have to say, my hair standing, the moment he came on stage, the first 15 feet of people, 20 feet, they all fainted. Everybody fainted, including me from back, right? I was exhausted, right? You can imagine the pressure of doing an event like this, right? And
Tell me something. Once all of this went through, right? Like everything, concert ho gaya, people management was done, everything was done. What's the feeling like?
I think right now, of course, we went through a lot of issues after he left, right? Which is traditional, right? Because any event like this becomes political, and everything. But people knew that we were doing it for the country, and people know us. You got my point. Today, I feel when I sit back and think about it, I think that was the time that I think people woke up to that. One is that India can host large events of this caliber, right? The market opened up, right? People started thinking or wanting to come to India because everything was great, right? Everything went smooth, okay? My feeling today is that it's so unreal because 30 years down, next year, 30 years down, the documentaries coming out, films coming out, and the Jacksons on tour, and for us to be a small part of his life, right? And meet him at a very close quarters. Not many people meet
I've done
Michael
that, of
Jackson
course.
at such close quarters, hold a conversation, right? I think for me, I want to say to everybody in our business in India that you have to do, it's like, I keep hearing from artists or even, अरे एक hit चाहिए, life में एक hit चाहिए यार, एक hit से So for Wizcraft, Michael Jackson coming and we doing it, forget what happened to us financially or what happened, but Wizcraft became a household name. Anybody and anybody knew who Wizcraft was, right? So it was thanks to Michael Jackson that Wizcraft became a known name overnight. Okay. And that's what I want to tell all the people who are in the business today, and especially today, technology is going to a different level. But we all have to understand that ultimately our events, our live events is about people, right? And I want to basically tell this to people that you got to just take risk if you believe in it, right? Okay. It's like me doing the unknowing. When I went into it, it was like the unknowing. Every step was a hurdle, but
You learned as well.
we learned, right? And that's what I want to tell people, that take risk, think bigger. Because when you think bigger and you think of your dreams, right? The power of dreams is something that's going to make your life. You know what I mean? And you just need that one thing right for you people to understand that you are right.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And of course, that comes with a lot of honesty. That comes with a lot of focus, passion. You know, we've never in our life cut corners, right? We've also always made sure that whatever we did right. So for me, the Michael Jackson story is very exciting because it encourages youngsters to think like that. You know, and India's now grown, you know, now. And that's the, see, because youngsters today, they are not risk takers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sponsor मिलेगा तो करेगा, government के पैसे मिले तो करेगा.
Correct.
You got my point? You have to decide that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and this is a similar story even with IIFA. When we come to IIFA later, I'll tell you. So in the event space, right? Okay. If you look at the way we've grown the business from 88, from birthday parties to corporate events, then you have 7 offices. We kept building our people. We have 450 people. Our Dubai office, you know, led by Alistair, been with us for 20 years. We bought him in here. So we engrave what we do in India. He's doing exactly, he's bringing it into Dubai, into Middle East, right? Because whatever you may say, the level of events, the thinking, the infrastructure at that time was large in India, right?
Right.
People are doing things now, you know, whether it's the real estate companies or whether it's banks or whether it's government, you know.
Of course. Yeah.
So even we feel that we are contributing now to the Middle Eastern region. That's what we want to build, you know.
And at the right time, rightfully so. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So from Wizcraft's perspective, we're looking at growing not only in the event space, which we are doing, we're growing in the wedding space. Now we're getting back into the concert space,
Right.
like, you know, but in something that we want to do in the concert space that means something to us, right? We also got into documentaries.
Okay.
So
nice.
yeah, so we're doing, for the last 2.5 years, we've just finished Salman Khan's documentary.
Oh, okay.
That's another
some-
interesting
Of course.
job we're doing. And this is from after looking at Last Dance, and you've seen the Beckham documentary, Robbie Williams. So Salman, you know, graciously agreed to it. It's not a biography, it's a documentary
Right.
of what takes to make Salman Khan who he is. You know, so the people behind him. So it's releasing in March next year.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We're all excited about it, right?
It's going to be a fun one, definitely.
so-
And rightfully so. We've got the stars. We've got places. We've got everything. India has everything.
Everything, yeah.
It just needs something or someone or a organization like yourself to push it out. Which,
And why not? So
Right.
while doing Salman's documentary, we're talking to Amir, we are talking to Chiranjeevi sir, and this documentary is not only a fluffy. It's about your life. It's about how you build your day, how you go out and work,
Yeah.
and what it takes. You know, so it's very interesting that people want to know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Of
From
course.
that perspective. So from that space, we are kind of
And my compliments. And of course, there is faith. I mean, everyone's faith is already, everyone already believes that Wizcraft can pull it off because you have been pulling it off.
Yeah,
so
what's
why
got?
not? Yeah. Why not? And we entered the UAE market at the right time as well, which is amazing. I mean, with the last
yeah, and
5 shows, of course.
and also our guys are doing a great job. We have a very small team here, but the guys are doing a great job. So I'm extremely happy.
Talk to me about IIFA. Now, it's about 25 years or so. It's been here.
25 years.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I will never forget, I found out my reasons of why. The first time I saw it, the production was outstanding. I was a little younger than I right now, of course. And it was something else because there were other shows at that time which were already, like you had film fairs and other award shows which were already going on. How did this come to you that IIFA karna hai?
see, actually, we produced both Filmfare and Femina with Pradeep Goa from 1991-92, right? And then we saw, you know, there was this whole aura about our cinema and storytelling. And then in the year 2000, when the IT boom came up, we decided let's build our own IP, right? So we had 2 options, right? Either do something in cricket and the sports or do something, in Bollywood, right? In Indian cinema, right? We chose Indian cinema about cricket because we felt Indian cinema is something that the second and third generation will connect with internationally,
It will.
and we'll take it abroad, right? We had no idea what's going to be the cost, how is it going to be done, but we just wanted to do it, right? And I still remember we said, okay, the first place should be London because a lot of people go to London, right? And so we formulated the concept and the note and everything. And the first person we went to through one of our friends at that time, and we went to Mr. Bachchan to say, would you be the head of our advisory board? You know what I mean? Okay. And he very gracefully said yes. And at that time also, in the year 2000, at that time it was his lowest period because with the, what was
post
happening.
ABCL,
Yeah,
of course.
post ABCL and all. But at that time he told us when he said yes, he's saying, Anway, we need to build respect for our Indian film industry. And I love the idea that you're taking it abroad. You know what I mean? And there can be no better person than Mr. Bachchan. You know what I mean? And of course, with Mr. Bachchan saying yes, we got Yash Johar, David Dhawan, Sham Shroff, Ramesh Sippy. At that time in 2000, they were stalwarts.
Biggest.
Bigger. And of course, for us, Mr. Bachchan, gave birth to IIFA, right? And he was with us for 10 years. He's still with us, and he kind of promoted it in his vision of what he wanted to do, because he was very, very vocal about the fact that Indian cinema should not be looked as Nach Gana.
Character.
You got my point?
Character.
You have to respect our art. You have to keep and preserve what we do, because we are doing movies and we are storytelling of our country, our people. It's all about song, dance, crying, romantic, in one movie. Where will you get it? So in that respect, we have a lot of gratitude and respect for what he gave us. He built the brand with us. He kind of took it to the next level, right? And so our first event in London, one night event, and no ticket sales, 2,000 people. We didn't know where to sit, who'll sit. Yes, Jor sat with us and made people sit where they had to sit. And the actual fact, in Millennium Dome, when we were working with foreigners, they said, listen, all the stars or all the people receiving awards have to sit after the 15th row.
Okay.
Because when the camera picks them off, there's a full walk.
Precisely.
Right. Now some stars say, nahin, hum pehla row mein baithega. To chalo pehla row mein baitho. At the end, they suddenly realized their neck was paining. So, and it's always people listen, and while we were doing IIFA in London, there was so much of hype in the news. We got Angelina Jolie wanted to come, Jackie Chan wanted to come, Tora Birch wanted to come, saying, what is this,
Yes. Travolta also, I remember.
No, Travolta came in Tampa later.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
So when we launched it, right, we had Yukta Mukhi and Amitabh Bachchan, right? We had Anupam Kher, and I think it was Sonali or somebody who hosted. No, Yukta hosted with Anupam Kher, the first IIFA. And after it got over, right, people thought that this is not going to happen again. These guys are mad, they're blowing up money, and, let's see what happens, right? So, same thing we thought, right?
Yeah.
But the good part was that there was so much of publicity, right? Even when we went on to ITV, we rated 16. At that time, there used to be a show called The EastEnders, which we did much better, right? So all the ingredients was there. We had Lata Mangeshkar, Sunil Dutt, Sanjay Dutt was dancing. We had Shekhar Kapoor, A.R. Rahman, Asha Bhosle, Dilip Saab, you know what I mean? It was the who's who of the industry was there, right? Okay, Shah Rukh Khan.
Can I ask you something honestly? Did you make money with the first one?
Well, Ankit, in the first IIFA, we didn't make any money. We blew up at that time, roughly about, I think around about 9.5 crores that time.
Today must be, I don't know how
much. Yeah.
How much money? God.
So, but we didn't make money. But as you say, it's an investment into a brand. But at that time, again, like the Michael Jackson, like what do we do next, right? And at that time, the entire concept was, where do we take the stars to party? Stars wanted to go and party. It was more that, it was more togetherness. How do we party? What do we do, right? So after London, we said, listen, I think we got to go to these casinos, right? So then we landed in Sun City. Beautiful place. Of course, Joburg, of course, the works. And when we landed there, we were working with Kunal Das Gupta from Sony because it was being aired on Sony. Sony signed Lagan, the movie, right? So then Kunal said, listen, you're doing your awards. Can we do one day prior, screen it, IIFA?
Okay.
I said, great. So then it became a 2-day affair, right? And Amir Khan coming, right? Okay. So close, right? Of course, you would not come to the awards, but, so close, right? And so it became a 2-day. And when we went to Sun City, we got rooms free. South African Airways gave us a 50% off on airline tickets. We had ground transportation, So the model was now working. So raising some money in India, getting some overseas relief from the government, some cash. So the model started from the second IIFA.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So as we went forward, then from there we went to Genting, Singapore. Singapore is where we established ourselves, because Singapore did a full third-party report. How many people came, how much spend was there, how many rooms was. They're superb, right? From the credit cards. And actually that got us going. And the model worked from there. And also in Singapore, we got Hrithik Roshan and Rakesh Roshan, we got them $1 million to shoot their first movie, Krish. So yeah, so they shot for 45 days there, right? It's first time in history you get rebates, you don't get cash.
Yes.
The Singapore government paid them cash to shoot for 45 days, right? So that was a stepping stone in terms of making it like a 3-day event, doing workshops, film festivals. In Singapore, we showcased Mani Ratnam's film, a dual film, Hindi and Tamil, where Vivek Oberoi and all were in it.
Yes.
Right.
I think Satya, no, I think it was
I can't recollect.
I don't think.
And we did it on Scots Road. We blocked the whole Scots Road. There were like 10,000 people on the street. So we created that aura, right? And then slowly by slowly, government started wanting the event to come in. And the model started working in that fashion, right? Okay. And today it's 25 years. And the reason it grew, we've invested $250 million over 25 years in the brand. I'll tell you, Ankit, it's the only brand in the world. If I have to ask you in the last 2.5 decades, which brands have stayed alive, you'll probably, if you ask me, Formula E, IPL.
Very few.
Very few.
Very,
right?
very few.
And that could only happen if we didn't have the passion, we didn't want to do it. We were pumping in money for 15 years, right? But we knew that we wanted to do it. And if you notice today, if anybody asks you who owns IIFA, they'll first say Amitabh Bachchan, then they'll say Salman Khan, then now they'll say Shah Rukh Khan, right? And that's what we wanted. We wanted the industry to own the event. We wanted to do things that were different, right? Okay. Because now overseas market has become a huge market as good as India. So in a small way, IIFA's contributed to the industry, not only for ticket selling, co-productions, film treaties. So no movie happens today without a co-production or a subsidiary.
Right.
Either you're shooting in London, Abu Dhabi, Bangkok,
Rightfully, even the one in Abu Dhabi, it feels like a week-long, I don't know, like a spectacle, like a week-long spectacle that one waits for now.
Another angle to this whole thing with especially with stars cinema, our Indian stars are very flexible. They'll always go out to do more. And what we understood while we are bringing in an event of a large scale into a country, 100 stars and everything, you're taking back, for them back to India. You're bringing India to them. That's all about soft power.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Soft power always works, right? Underlining what we're doing. And that's why on our 25th year, gave us a letter, acknowledged that what we are doing, you know what I mean? For us, it's big pride, right? End of the day, he is the head of our country. He at least acknowledging that there is something somebody is doing in a small way, you know, taking India to the world.
It's no longer small. I'll tell you what. Now you cannot refer to it in a small way. It's definitely now. You think of chai, you think India. You think of IIFA, you know it's India. So you've taken it to that level. Again, my compliments, and how you did it. But now it's one of the most awaited shows of the year.
Yeah, I go ahead, please.
And
I want to know about your story.
I'll tell you my story. Yeah. So IIFA, with the two reasons. One was there was a performance by Deepika Padukone when I was very young, and I saw that I was like, wow. But before that, how I got hooked onto IIFA was when I was watching the show. On one of the shows, one of the gentlemen who I really adore and love was Mr. late Feroz Khan. Malaysia. Mr. Feroz Khan was in a happy zone. He was in his happy mood.
He's my mentor.
Oh my God. I wish I could have, if there is someone, two people, one is Raj Kapoor, one is Feroz Khan. I wish I can go back in time and just meet these two gentlemen. And I remember him coming off on stage, and he had this aura, right? The buttons were open. I don't remember if he had hair in that one or no.
He didn't have hair.
He did have hair. And he went on stage and he started praising Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and you can tell, like, he's in his zone. I will never forget that in my life. And then walks in Sanjay Salman Khan.
He was the only guy in the industry. I has to go to his house to invite him, right? And he had this lovely leather sofas. He'll call me over. He said, Andre, let's have a drink. I'll invite him. He was the only person, my hair standing.
Yeah.
Feroz Khan is my favorite.
I love
Of course, now his son Fardin is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But his father had that aura,
Right.
that whole aura.
God, what a human being.
Always giving.
Yeah. Everyone who knows him says the same thing. That he was one of a kind. What an aura, what a way to speak. I mean, he was. That's why I will never forget.
Yeah.
And that was IIFA, I remember. And Abhijit was there. And he was
So quickly to tell you, IIFA is now 25. What we're doing now, we've launched IIFA Utsava, which is, the South guys felt, what are you doing for us? So now we launched IIFA Utsava. It's 5-6 years. We are planning to do it in India for the next 2-3 years. We feel we'll, establish it in India and then take it abroad again. Then we are now interestingly launching IIFA America in 2027.
exactly what I heard.
Yeah. Because we felt when we did IIFA Tampa, when we had John Travolta, Kevin Spacey, we had Hilary Swank, Cuba Gooding Jr., now with Priyanka Chopra and everything. So we felt that why don't we build... So the reason we are doing it, we are still sticking to our home ground, which is Indian cinema. And now we're only adding Hollywood films in India. So Indian cinema, Hollywood doing well in India and Indian cinema, but they'll be only honored in America, North America. So it'll be like the Super Bowl,
Right.
traveling around, right? Okay. So we're looking at 2027 August, Las Vegas. We're working with the government of Las Vegas.
Right.
We're working with the arenas there. And it's going to be very different. It's going to be English,
Okay.
right? Okay. And it's going to be mainly a 2-day affair. The previous day will be more press, fashion, because fashion has become big now. Indian fashion has become large. So a small fashion event. And the next day is this big event for 20,000-30,000 people, fully English. We're looking at bringing in entertainment like, let's say, Ranveer Singh and Kevin Hart, Hrithik and Jennifer Lopez performing, Billie Eilish and A.R. Rahman, right? What you're seeing today with our singers in a small way with Ed Sheeran and
Right.
Daljit, we're going to take on a larger scale, right? And bring in
present
this
it.
cross-culture.
Which will be amazing.
Yeah. No, we got some great response from a lot of digital companies there, television companies there. And we want to bring Hollywood and Indian cinema together closely. And we believe we are going to only enhance what the Oscars are doing or Golden Globes are doing. And our aim is to see one day how can we kind of work together. Like, for us to bring, the Golden Globes to India or bring the Oscars to India, right? In some form, right? Because our industry is growing. We look at the industry and what we want to do is not only bring Indian cinema and Hollywood.
Well, I suppose
As we go further, we want to bring in the Korean cinema, Chinese cinema, Mexican cinema. We want to make it a global brand, Oscars today has such a great reputation, the Golden Globes, right? There are already discussions of it happening. So the question here is that when we go into America, we want to be independent. At the same time, we want to support the industry in what we are doing. And we're very excited about it.
it's a very smart move as well, because you'll be the bridge eventually between the two cultures coming together. And
Absolutely.
in the form of art.
Absolutely.
which is-
And again, it's art, it's music, it's fashion,
combined. Yeah.
it's talent. You know what I mean? And also, we are launching in Dubai. We're going to launch our first eye lounge.
Okay.
Yeah, because what we feel in 25 years, we have built IIFA as a brand. Now we want to build something for our people, right? So we're building a lounge, which will be like, I would say, the arts club, a place where South Asians, Indians can go dine, dance, stand up. You know what I mean? But it's our version.
Okay.
You got my point?
Yeah.
Because through food and culture
Mm.
and music,
You
You know.
connect, of course.
you blend. It's about just expanding the brand. We're doing a lot of collaborations. You'll see in the next 5-6 months on merchandising, right? With top brands that we're gonna do.
No.
So we want to kind of bring our audiences together. The people that come in to see our programs, what can they do after that?
Otherwise, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like saying, I want to now build my audience, my people. It's like,
Right.
people go to Zuma, people go here, there, right? The whole idea here is now to say, listen, I want to go to the eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a
that
brilliant
aspect,
one, and you will
yeah.
definitely find me there as well. This is
Yeah, you must
why-
come when we open it next year, end of next year.
Yeah.
We're going to open it. And, you must come to
Will definitely.
to Vegas,
Yeah.
and we launch it there,
Yeah. It is quite amazing, the things you have planned and the things you have been doing. See, there's only credibility to the things you have planned if you have something to showcase, like how everyone says, right? Pehle kya kiya? So, which very rightfully, sir, Wizcraft has established. So, just before I let you go, just one last thing. Now you've been coming to Abu Dhabi for 4 or 5 years. Oh, 5 years if I'm
Oh, we did Abu Dhabi for 3 years.
3 years rather.
Yes. And then we did Arijit, we did A.R. Rahman after that.
Right. Why will Abu Dhabi is great. We all love Abu Dhabi, of course, and it's a welcoming place as well. Where are we seeing IIFA in Dubai?
Well, I think for IIFA to come to Dubai, right? Okay, we have a template, right, that we work with every government, right? I think Dubai is a place today where, where people automatically come, right? If you talk to the Emirates airline, the flights which they have maximum flights from India, it comes packed, right? Okay, so I think we would love to come to Dubai. Dubai is the place, right? Okay, but we have to see the need to bring an event of that caliber in here and work with the government of Dubai, right? Because it's not about wanting money, it's about collaborating. If I have to make an event of any stature, wherever we've gone, Ankit, we've gone to New York, we were at MetLife, the best stadium in the world. Raymond James, best stadium in the world, right? Hotels, best, right? Jets, flights, we don't compromise, right? And Dubai has the infrastructure, right? But the model that Abu Dhabi is working on, which I feel that Dubai should start working on a model, you know what I mean? Because the fact that they get so much tourism, but it's like Coke not wanting to promote themselves. You
Right.
understand? I think if Dubai looks at it in that fashion, right? They are bringing large events here. They are paying for it, right? They're building arenas, right? So I think we would love to come to Dubai. Who doesn't want to come to Dubai? I love Dubai, right? Okay. It's a place that has the infrastructure, has the people, right? And I think hats off to the leadership here. They've done a brilliant job and they're constantly doing a brilliant job, right? What they're going to build, right? They give a free hand to people to do things, right? So I think it has to be a win-win situation.
For both the parties involved. Perfect. I hope you get there. I hope it.
I hope he comes soon back.
Yeah. And again, I wanna sit with you for the entire day, but I know you're on you're on a time limit today. But I would love to do this again once more with you. I would love to sit down again, and there's so much I want to speak about. But I want to compliment you on the brand.
No,
All
thank you.
three of you, in fact, on the brand that you have built, which is IIFA, which is which now, like I said, you have built that software for India. Why are these 4 syllables IIFA? So congratulations. I have a lot of memories with IIFA, and hopefully one of the events I will drop by as well and see how it is over here.
Behind the scenes, we'll take it.
Yeah. I would love to see that as well. And my compliments to you, and keep growing, keep showing us more of that side of the world. And hopefully we'll do this once again.
Yeah, but before I end, I
Yeah.
want to say, first of all, thank you so much, Ankit, for calling me on your show, Timeout, right? I think it's great. And this is for all the youngsters in the events business. So, whatever you want to call it that you do today in your space, in the entertainment and media, I just want them to make sure that they dream, because the power of dreams is something that you need to believe in what you do. Believe in yourself. The moment you believe in yourself, everything will work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the youngsters have got to stick in there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them are jumping job. They have to stick in there, because if you stick in there, like today, the three of us, if I, take a little more time, Andre Viraf Sabas is a story itself that people talk about, because we've been together for now 40 years, and we, even till today, we may have our own differences, but our main goal for three of us is one.
Yeah.
Right? I may say something, Viraf may say something, Sabas may say something. But the fact that all three of us have one goal, right? It's like, it's like a rule book. If two says yes, the third one is hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to say that the three of us being together is a miracle, but it's God's grace, right? You know what I mean? Sticking together and, having that one vision. Right? It's like three companies operating, but when it comes to doing something, we are one.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing can change there, and that is something that I treasure a lot. And that's what I tell everybody, because it comes from my father, who worked in one job for 33 years. Viraf's dad worked in a job for 34 years. Sabas's father worked for 33 years. You know what I mean? So that impact of theirs is onto us. That's why we three of us, it's almost a lifetime that we've been together.
Yeah.
And that itself gives a lot of stability, trust, that, that if you're together, things will happen, So God is kind for keeping us together.
And they are happening. So again, congratulations to all three of you. And inshallah, hopefully down the line, I'll probably...